Hey guys, this week's science lesson is going to be on the wheel and rollers. So you can watch this video and also follow along. I have posted the link for this actual full written out lesson on the Chillin' with Chinkasing Week 2 document. So here we go. What is a wheel? A wheel is a simple machine used to make our lives easier. Wheels are short cylinders that rotate on an axle. An axle helps the wheel stay in place on the machine. Wheels move with the load they are carrying. Only one wheel is needed to move a load. So I have some pictures here of wheels and axles. We have a Ferris wheel, and the wheel is right here. And the axle is right here that the wheel is spinning on. We have a motorcycle. They have two wheels, and each wheel is rotating on an axle. We have a doorknob. The knob right here is the wheel. And then the axle is what connects the doorknob to the door, and that is what the knob is spinning on. And then here we have a pottery wheel to make clay pots. And this is believed to be one of the very first wheel and axles. So wheels are believed to have been invented about 5,500 years ago to make clay pots. The wheel was connected to a foot pedal that would be used to spin the wheel. As the wheel turned, the pot would spin around fast and evenly. So we're going to scroll down here. Why do wheels work? So have you ever wondered why it is faster to ride your bike or skateboard than it is to run? Or why it is easier to pull a heavy suitcase than it is to carry a bag of the same weight? That's because if a wheel is free to roll, it moves forward as it turns. Only a small portion of the wheel is touching the ground at any time. This means that there is little friction between the ground and the wheel. So we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of our unit when we were still together in class. We did that experiment where I was sitting in one of the student chairs. So the chairs with 4 points were all touching the ground. And some of you got a chance to try to push me on that chair, and it was actually impossible. You couldn't move me because there was so much friction and there was no way to propel me forward. But as soon as I got into the teacher chair with the wheels, you guys could easily push me across the classroom. And that's because that chair has wheels that are able to move and create less friction. I also have a picture here of a unicycle, and that's also an example of a wheel right here, and an axle, that is what the wheel is spinning on. So next we have a roller. A roller is a long cylinder that can be used to move heavy loads. Many rollers are needed to work together to help to move a heavy load. So with a wheel and axle, you only need one wheel to move an object. Okay, so just like the unicycle, there's only one wheel. But with rollers, you need many of them in order to move heavy objects. And the roller was actually invented before the wheel. And here are some pictures of rollers. So we have a conveyor belt here. We have a rolling pin. And this was like the experiment we did in class with the plasticine. You guys had to figure out how to flatten that plasticine using a roller. And lots of you used your water bottles. You used glue sticks. You used markers. And then we also have here your body doing a log roll would be an example of a roller. The very first rollers used would have been tree trunks. Thousands of years ago, ancient Egyptians probably used tree trunk rollers to help them build the pyramids. Each stone block was pulled over rollers by the people working. So we can even think of when we had that experiment in class with the textbooks, and I wanted you guys to move that textbook easily around the classroom. And Sean actually figured out that if he used a bunch of glue sticks, he could slowly move the textbook easily around the classroom. But then he also figured out that once he moved the textbook forward a little bit, he had to grab the roller from the back of the textbook and place it in the front of the textbook. Otherwise, there'd be no rollers left. So why do rollers work? Rollers help loads move forward or backwards, but the rollers themselves stay in place at the same time. As each roller turns around, it moves the load a little bit further. So you're going to watch this video here about wheels and rollers, but I only want you to watch from 7 minutes and 34 seconds to 12 minutes and 40 seconds, because that is just that part of the video only focuses on wheels and rollers. The rest of the video we'll be watching in future classes, but that just doesn't have to do with today's lesson. So you're going to watch this video, and then you're also going to complete the assignment that I've posted on Google Classroom about wheels, axles, and rollers. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So when you go to Google Classroom, there is your assignment. And when you open your assignment, it's in Google Slides. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages that you're going to do. So the first page says, how many ways do we use wheels and axles in our everyday lives? So it says, click here to type. So you're going to click here and you're going to erase what I have written. And you are going to type your answer here. So an example of a wheel and axle would be a car. Okay, if you would like to add pictures in here to go along with that, you can. You don't have to. I just need examples using words. The next one that you're going to do on page number 2 is examples of rollers. So where we use rollers in our everyday lives. And same thing as the last page, you're going to click here to type, erase that, and you're going to write in your answers. And then on the third page, I have a chart here. It says sort the objects on the next page into the chart below, just type the answer. So I have wheels and axles and then rollers. You need to go to the last page here, and I have pictures of some wheels and axles and rollers, and I want you to sort these into the chart. So if you think a rolling pin is an example of a wheel and axle, you're going to go back to this page and you're going to type in roller under rolling pin under wheels and axle. Okay, and then continue sorting all of those. Once you are done all of these pages, you are going to submit the assignment. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please make sure you ask me. I'm always on Google Hangouts to help you, and we can also do a one-on-one video chat